Hello everyone, welcome to What's Up Wednesday. Can I get a thumbs up please if you can see me, hear me, and everything is okay? Let's see who has been here. Georgina, so looking forward to seeing you. Have to make a trip to my local thrift store for fabric, but we'll try to catch the live. Might have to resort to the replay. Love you, miss you, stay safe. Well, Georgina, we all love you. I know I do. And thrift store fabric, there you go. Okay, let's see here. I gotta adjust my camera. And we had Sew Terie saying good afternoon to everyone. Be back in time for the live. Doris, yeah, looking forward to everyone. Missed the live on the weekend due to my market day. That's fine. Giovanna said hello to you. And June stopped by to say hi to everyone, but can't stay because she's taking her sister to an appointment. Let's see, Betty said hello to everyone, and there's Mary G. Hello. Okay, let's see, and there's Lisa P. She likes that blue wrench. Now, we all love the blue wrenches, don't we? Hello, Emily, Beverly, Gladys, and Lori. Butterfly Queen is here. Denise is here from Northeast Scotland, and Barb from Michigan. So hello. It is a beautiful day here in northern Maine, but you know what? Autumn is beautiful everywhere, right? I think so. There's a lot of pretty places in this world. So it is 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is right around 20 or 21 degrees Celsius, if my memory serves me correctly. And it may not. Let's see. I wanted to take a moment. I know I do this every What's Up Wednesday, but we haven't had one for almost 2 months. It was the middle of July, right? So I want to take a moment to thank my admin girls. They are fabulous. Whether they're here or whether they're over on the group, they keep the cogs oiled, they keep the whole show running, and I could not do this without them. So I appreciate them every day. Not only for their help, but their friendship is just amazing. They're amazing ladies. I also would like to thank Kimberly from My Fabric Addiction. And as always, her link is down below, but it is myfabricaddiction.com. She sponsors our weekly fabric prize giveaway. Now, if you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, we're not doing a drawing this week, which I will talk about in a moment. But if you live in the continental United States, you are eligible to get your name in to potentially win a fabric prize from My Fabric Addiction. So what you have to do in order to have a chance at winning is, after this live stream, you leave a comment, okay, below the video. And in that comment, you use the word fabric. Now, if you've won anything from my channel in the last 90 days, I ask that you please don't do that, because we like to spread out the prizes a little bit, okay? So, I will tell you guys right now about the difference in the prizes as far as right now. Generally, I give you each week a creative word of the day. You use that, you know, in a comment. And I do a weekly postcard giveaway for a comment of the week. But right now, because I'm trying to ease back into things and, you know, get my footing to be back, I'm going to pause on that, okay? But we will be doing a drawing next week for the fabric prize. So make sure, if you're in the U.S. and you haven't won the last 90 days, that you use the word fabric. Now, Kimberly's link is below if you'd like to check out her page. She has a lot of different deals going on. I received an email, now I should have written it down, but it was something like buy one quilt kit and get a different quilt kit free. So if you're interested in that, you're gonna want to go check that out. And there's another product of hers that I'm going to talk about in a little bit because of something I plan to make, and I will tell you more about that in a little bit. So there are a lot of links in the description box. The rest of the links are to our very own Sew Terie. She did Project Dress-A-Girl, which is a wonderful, wonderful organization. Okay, you can read more about that online, but the link to her video showing all the dresses that she made this year is in the description box, as well as 3 videos from a channel called Mari Sews, and she does an unboxing of everyone who sent her dresses for this year's Project Dress-A-Girl. So I talked about this on the live stream Sew and Chat on Saturday. If you missed that, the link is down below to that as well. But there is just really talented people out there. Okay, let me take a look at the chat, see what we have here. Okay, I was there. I know Terry had told me the other day I could highlight like comments to know where I left off, but I don't dare do it during, I don't know, I'm chicken. I'm afraid it'll mess me up. Lisa brought coffee. Oh my goodness. And she said, and she knew who it was for because it shows someone drinking all kinds of coffee. Hi Jill, good to see you. And thank you to my admins for dropping links to everyone's channels. Gladys is letting you know when she is also on Monday and Wednesday. Thank you for that. Her channel is called The Confident Quilter. Aisha, hello to you. I haven't seen you for a while. Heck, I haven't seen anyone for a while, right? Okay. Kathleen is saying hello all from sunny Unity, Maine. Well, hello down there. Okay, Terry says you put your mouse over the last comment and hold the button down so it highlights. So left, right. Didn't do it. It takes my camera angle away when I touch the screen. I gotta get it back. Okay, there I am. I have part of my screen where I can see, so if I hold something up, I can tell if it's there, and then if I touch anything, like if I try to do an emoji or anything over in the chat, it takes away my OBS Studio off my screen. I guess I'll just have to go with it as it is. But thank you, Terry. Oh, well, hello, Glenda. How are you doing? Hopefully well. I have my... let me see. Glenda got me this, my little planner for this year. In fact, I was asked by a few people if I have updated my Amazon wish list recently, so I did go in this morning and add a couple of things. I have a couple of more I can add, but there's not anything serious there yet, but I appreciate that thought. And Janice says, good morning, Marie. It's nice to see you back on Wednesday. Wednesdays did not seem the same without you. Well, you're so sweet. And Wednesdays did not seem the same to me either. I'm wearing my Fabric Addiction t-shirt. The only problem is it's a little bit big on me now. But I was chatting with Kimberly, and we're going to see about a new t-shirt. I think pink would be a nice color. Black has always been my favorite. I love clothing that's black for whatever reason, but pink is okay too. I think I need to try out something new. Oh, goodness. So Giovanna had a birthday the other day, so happy birthday to her. And I know that because we were chatting about birthdays in the live stream sewing chat from Saturday. And if you see Deb, the Pug Mama Quilter, say happy birthday to her today. Okay, so I have received Happy Mail while I was away from everyone. Now, I received some cards, some emails, some messages, some letters, and I don't show the more personal things on our videos, but I do want to share with you what I can show you. Now, before I get to the Happy Mail, my mom dropped something off. She was with my sister, and she dropped something off, and oh, my heart. Okay. These are buttons that were my mom's when I was a little kid. I mean, she was using out of these. My mom used to make a lot of clothing and things. And to have her gift that to me was very emotional, you know. She said, do you want these, or should I drop them off at the thrift store? And I'm like, no way, I want them. Of course I want them. You know, who wouldn't? Okay, so I'm going to go in the order that I received these items, okay? So the first one is something that was on my Amazon wish list. Now, hopefully you can see the way the lamp, the way the lamp is. It comes out. Everything's mirror image. Doesn't work well on my brain. Anyway, it clamps onto your desk, okay? So my husband was going to put it on my sewing table for me, but I wasn't 100% sure which table I wanted it on. So we're actually going to be doing that this afternoon because I've been working here in the sewing room, which I'm going to tell you guys about. But this is a wonderful gift, so thank you, Richard, for my lamp. It's going to make it so much easier to see. I have purchased light strips that stick right to my machine, as well as I have little lamps that kind of, they're magnetized and they go onto the sewing machine. And they're a little bit helpful, but they're just not enough. I don't have an overhead light in this room, and that's what makes it difficult to sew in here, okay? Because the apartments here, we have like a hallway light, a stairway light, a cellar light, and a kitchen light on the ceiling. Everything else is lamps. And as I'm sure you know, lamps, the light is coming from the side. So, oh, speaking of light, I think I fixed my lighting issue here in the sewing room so it doesn't look so dark. And I put some different curtains up in the window. Those are temporary because, like I said, I have something to tell you about today concerning curtains. Okay, let me see. Catch up on the chat for a minute. Joy T, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, or should I just call you Joy? Okay. She is saying hello to everyone. Glenda's a button collector. Oh, I just love buttons. Giovanna says she has one of these. I'm assuming the lamp. It's over 40 years old and works like a charm. And Butterfly Queen says, I need a lamp like that one for my sewing table. Well, I'm hoping it's going to work out well, and I bet it is. Now, I'm not going to show the outside of this box because I don't want to give away anyone's information, but this is from Sharon. And this came when I first took the time off from YouTube. Now, not only did she send me some scraps, but she sorted them for me. And I'm only laughing because I'm terrible at sorting my own scraps. I try to, and I have been working on it the last few days, but she took the time to do this, and they're all pressed. There's none wrinkled or anything. And yeah, I said to a friend of mine, I have a gazillion scraps of my own. Of course I do. We all do, right? I think I'd win that contest, though. I really do, if it were a contest. But someone else's scraps are always more exciting. A year or so ago, Lisa, our wrench holder Lisa, she had sent me a whole bunch of scraps. And there were narrow ones, and there were, oh goodness, all kinds of things, salvage edges and everything. I can't tell you how many of her scraps I have put into projects like postcards and notebooks. I just saw some yesterday. I knew exactly who they were from because they weren't from my collection. So scraps from other people are just fun. So Sharon had them all bagged up, and I won't show you every scrap, but she has them sorted. We have holiday scrap colors. We have the blacks. I'm sorry, the plastic kind of makes it hard to see, but you get the drift. Now these are the yellows, oranges, beige, off-white, teal and green all together. And we have the blue family. We have salvages. Look at all the nice strips for postcards. All pre-cut. She's got them all cut for me. How'd she know I was doing this? And then these are some bigger scraps. All sorts in there. And then she has labeled 2-inch strips. So, my goodness, Sharon, thank you so much. And of course, there was a card in here. Again, I'm not going to read the more personal part, but I wanted to show you. She has fabric on the front, and this is like, I don't know what to say it's made out of. And then a paper clip right here, which took me a minute to figure out what was on the paper clip. But oh goodness, you still can't see. It's because the bottom of it looked like a cowboy boot. And I'm like, no, it's not a cowboy boot. You can tell what it is now. I knew you'd get it. So thank you very much, Sharon, for that. I love it. Now that I've shown everyone, I can start using them. Because I'm working on some autumn postcards today. Well, not today, but in general, that's my project of the moment. Okay. So, imagine my surprise over the weekend when a box came from Kimberly at my Fabric Addiction. And as you know, she randomly will send me boxes of items, and she knows what I like. One time, I don't know, a year and a half ago, she sent me a box, and she had little post-it notes that had like a quilt picture on the outside, and there were marking pens, like disappearing marking pens. I think she gets them at like quilt shows or wherever, I'm not sure. She has secrets. I can't get in on all this stuff. No, but she does. She has a lot of that stuff, so I love anything like that. But I also love fabric. So you want to see what she said? Okay, let me catch up before I do this box. Okay, so Joy replied to me and said, Joy or Joy T? Okay, well, I'm good either way. Thank you for the clarification. Hi, Gisela. It's so good to see you. It's been a long time. Kimberly Kleeman, she's been here from the beginning, haven't you, Kimberly? Good to see you. Good morning to you. I read your comment, by the way, about needing to try postcards. Yes, you do. You need to try making some. But I won't say anymore. Glenda says, I agree. Scraps are like friends. I love them. Well, that's a good analogy, Glenda. I like that. And Doris said, hi, everyone. Busy on my embroidery machine. I knew I heard that something running in the background, Doris. Have fun. We're right here, whether you listen now or later. Denise said, I spend days sorting my scraps, even the tiny bits. Me too. Now have quite a few postcard bases, but still have loads left. Where do they all come from? Well, I'm going to stop right there and just say, for anyone who's been with me from the beginning, you already know what I'm going to say, but anyone new might have missed it. I used to say in a lot of my earlier tutorial videos, I would say, I started this channel because I had been making quilts for years, and I had all kinds of sizes of scraps, everything from tiny little crumbs to, quarter-yard pieces. So the idea was to make as many different projects in a year as I could using only scrap fabric to see if I could whittle down my scraps. But it doesn't work that way because scraps multiply. They do. You cut pieces up to use them and you just have more pieces to use. That's just simply how it works, okay? No rhyme or reason. No rhyme or reason. But that's good, Denise. It's just difficult to keep on top of them, for sure. I understand. Betty says, nice scraps. Yes, indeed. And Giovanna says, wow, beautiful gift. I am jelly. Okay. And Lisa says, ooh, awesome scrap, Sharon. I know, she did a great job, didn't she? She's so sweet. Okay, Giovanna says, a flamingo. You guessed correctly. All right, let me see. Love those. Oh, it scrolled way up away from me. Let me catch up really quickly here. Giovanna said to Denise that they're like rabbits, because yes, they do multiply, those scraps. Glenda says, Sharon clearly got the medal. Sweetest gift giver from the heart. She is. She did, didn't she, Glenda? And Lisa said, Denise, the dilemma is real. And this is from the girl who sends me her scraps. Gorgeous, too. She even sent me scraps from a friend of hers. It must be over a year now, huh, Lisa, that you sent those? And I'm still using out of those. Peggy Lee says hello from Las Vegas, and she's glad to see you this morning. Well, good to see you, too. Hello way out there in Las Vegas. Gisela says, Marie, you are looking good. Lots of energy. I'm getting there. I really am. I still take it easy. I still have to rest a few times throughout the day, but I'm getting there. Thank you very much. And Janice says, love those scraps. Okay. And Doris says, oh, I'm here. I figured you were listening, or one way or the other, Doris. Glenda says, Kimberly is the absolute coolest. I ordered 2 of her pre-cut quilt kits. They're great, ladies. Yes, they are. And I didn't put a link directly to the quilt kits. I just put it to the myfabricaddiction.com. But thank you very much for that, Glenda. I know you've been shopping with her for quite some time, and I know she appreciates that. She's got some good stuff there. Lynn says, good morning. Good morning to you, Lynn. Gisela says, I spend weeks cutting and sorting scraps. They never end. They don't. See, I have never cut my scraps, unless I'm going to make something from them and I have to cut them down. I know a lot of people do that. I've never done it. Kimberly needs to sort her scraps into colors. Yep. Betty says, because of you, Marie, I try to use my scraps first. Well, I'm glad I could help out. Well, if it's a help, I don't know, Betty. But my goodness. Heather. Well, hello, Heather. She says she is waving hello from Wisconsin. So let's wave to Wisconsin. Not from here in northern Maine. That's a long ways. Glad to have you here. Thank you, Heather. Laura is here. Hi, Laura. Hope you're feeling well today. Glad you're here. Don't worry about being late. And there's Jan. Hi, Jan. Good to see you as well. Gisela said, so many scrap projects to be made, isn't there? The list is endless. And Lynn, that's true. Hard to decide what to make first. Absolutely. Okay, so let's see what's in the box from My Fabric Addiction. Okay, first thing out of the box was This is a rag style baby quilt pattern on the front, and all the pre-cuts in there to go with it. Oh, hefty. Some batik strips. I'm not going to open to take them all out, but you get the drift. And a regular scrappy strip pack. Would you look at some of this? Look at that color. I can't tell you how gorgeous that is. It's just beautiful. So if you're new here and you don't know what a scrappy strip pack is, this is how I found my fabric addiction. I actually went online to buy scraps as if I needed to. But no, I wanted something new, okay? This was right before I started this channel. So when I found these and started buying these, I was so impressed that I messaged her and said, I just started up a little YouTube channel. Would you mind if I told people about this? And she says, no, not at all. Well, then we became friends, and she's just so sweet. She is the sweetest woman. Anyway, and this is called a scrappy strip pack. I will edit the description box. I meant to put it in there, but I will put that in there later. So the other thing that was in there, Christmas is coming right up, I have 2 jelly rolls of her fabrics, her Christmas fabrics. And I have the fat quarters and some 10-inch squares from last year that match with this. So that is perfect. So thank you again, Kimberly. You're always so good to me. I don't know what I did to deserve that, but thank you very much. All right. So that's it for the Happy Mail. I told you I was going to tell you something about curtains, and it had to do with my fabric addiction. Now, a while back, Kimberly started selling this thing called a mystery grab bag, okay? And that is not on her Etsy, My Fabric Addiction. You have to go to myfabricaddiction.com to find it. But it's a mystery grab bag that's got all different sizes and some big pieces, and yeah, there's circles and squares and strips and this and that. If you're a scrap lover, like myself, it's a bigger variety, okay? So I had mentioned to her the other day in a message, I've told you guys before, I want scrappy patchwork curtains here in the sewing room. I just do. I'm going to line them, but that's what I want. So I said to her, do you think that 2 of those mystery grab bags would net me enough fabric? I mean, not that I don't have my own, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to just use what comes in those grab bags to make the curtains. Even if I have to piece smaller ones to pieces together. As you can tell, I'm really sure of my game plan here. But I am going to get those curtains made, and I even have the fabric picked out for the lining. It's kind of a heavyweight home decor weight cotton. So I did put the link to the mystery grab bags in the description box, but you know, when I went to get that link, I found something else, because I always find something else over there. They were sold out at the moment, but she has Christmas mystery grab bag. I'm like, oh my land, she's giving us something else. Anyway, okay, so I'll hush up now. I promise. But you know me, I just love my scraps. I do. Small, large. Giovanna says, wow, great kit. Yes, indeed. And I do like rag quilts. I really do. Hi, Nancy. Nancy is here, tuning in very late, but here from beautiful sunny day in Oregon. Well, we're glad you're here. And Laura says, wow, I might need the kit. Giovanna says, love those colors. Terry says, Kimberly has great deals on pre-cut quilt kits and often has buy one, get one free. Yes, she does. Thank you for that, Terry. As well as, I forgot to say, I noticed on the mystery grab bags, if you put 3 in your cart, you automatically get 1 free. So you buy 2, get 1 free. But I wouldn't have thought about that, even though I meant to tell you. But Terry, thank you. Gisela says, Marie, since I had so many pre-cuts, it has saved me during my problems with my wrist. I would have gone bananas if I had not had pre-cuts. Well, I'm sure that was helpful because then you didn't need to use your wrist, which I guess you couldn't, to do the cutting. So that's great. That is awesome. And yes, Nancy, we're glad to have you here. It has been too long. I took time off, as I'm sure you know. And Denise says, I wish we had a Kimberly in Aberdeenshire. Is it Aberdeenshire? Aberdeenshire? Scotland. I bet you do. I bet you do. Laura says, Terry, I've purchased a couple of kits, but never was able to get the buy one, get one. Laura, I don't know if you get her emails, but they will alert you to, like earlier I said, because I had an email and it said that if you buy one quilt kit, you get a certain one free through the end of the week. Yeah. Okay. Terry says, Laura, she has buy one, get one right now. Thank you, Terry. And Lisa says, today marks 99 days till Christmas. Well, aren't you the bearer of wonderful news? That means we need to prod ourselves and get busy. But no, thank you for that, Lisa. Thank you very much. And Giovanna says, Denise, I wish she was here in Italy. Laura says, okay, I'll let Terry take care of that question about the fabric. Denise says, I bet you have more in Italy than we do, Giovanna. Fabric shops are in short supply here in Scotland. Yeah. Hi, Mona. Mona did what is here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Gisela says, I need to make new Christmas or rather winter curtains for my kitchen. I want to do that too. Great minds think alike. Glenda says, got it. She's got it all in caps. Gotta get some Christmas scrap bags from Kimberly. Thank you, Marie. Well, you're welcome, but you're going to have to watch because like I said, when I looked this morning, they were sold out. Giovanna says, I only have one in my town, but then I have the marketplace in the center square on Tuesday where they sell fabric in the stalls. Well, there. My goodness. Okay. Lynn says, we're warm, expecting 100 degrees here in Northern California. My goodness, that is warm. Yikes. Rose says, bah humbug. Well, hello, Rose. Okay, so let me get on with my list. I got to get out of the chat box here sometime. As I said, I had a sew-in chat on Saturday, and if you missed it, the link is below. But during that sew-in chat, I discussed the idea of once a month, or approximately once a month, doing a live stream that is not at noon Eastern time. Okay? Australia is 14 hours ahead of me. Italy is 5 hours ahead, and Scotland is 6 hours ahead. So I was trying to come up with a time of day that I could do a live stream that would also, get to some more people. Now, if you're from somewhere out of those areas, out of my time zone, you can certainly leave it in the comments so that helps me decide. But right now, I'm looking at, if I did a live stream at 4 a.m., that would be 8 p.m. in Australia, 10 a.m. in Italy, and 9 a.m. in Scotland. So if you have thoughts or ideas, please leave them in the comments section below, not here in the live chat, but in the comments section, and let me know what you think about that. So, I have started cleaning my room, and I know it doesn't look it, okay? I can tell. I see what you guys see, but yesterday was a tough day for me. I'm just going to say one word. It has been 40 years since my son Matthew died. It was 40 years yesterday. He was almost 8 weeks old when he passed. So yesterday was a tough day for me. So I started tearing apart my sewing room. Yeah, I did. Because I have I am guilty of this. I get out fabric for a project, and I get out the zippers or the rickrack or the whatever, all the stuff. Use it, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll fold it and set it over here. I'll put it away. I'll put it away when I'm done. No, I won't. That's a lie I tell myself to make myself feel better while I'm sewing. So everywhere there were stacks, as well as I have too much furniture in this sewing room, okay? So yesterday my husband was cleaning in our bedroom closet, and we have a spare dresser, and it's vintage. It's been around a while. And it's a 3-drawer dresser, and he said, 2 of the 3 drawers are empty. Do you need them? Yes, please. So I'm going to put fabrics in there that I don't use all the time, that they're handy enough to get to, but they're not right here in the sewing room. So I have been putting fabric away. Now this is not sorted. It was at one point. Everything on this shelf was like solids were together and the kids' prints were together, this and that. But it isn't that way now. But what I'm aiming for right now is just getting the fabrics together, and then I have an overflow here. But I sorted scraps. I can't tell you how many scraps. I put all the smaller ones into, it's kind of a bucket thing with a lid, and then in another container I have the larger scraps from, say, charm size square up to almost a fat quarter. Those are in another container so that I know they're sorted somewhat by size. I still have a ways to go, but when I say this room was torn apart, it was torn apart. So after the live stream, I'll do whatever I normally do, fix the links or do whatever. My husband and I are going to finish cleaning the sewing room. Yesterday he came in and he was trying to help me, but of course, as you know, if you've had all this stuff out, only you are going to know where it goes, so it wasn't really much he could help me with. Just, I told him he had to wait for the heavy lifting. All right, let me catch up for a moment before I go on to the next thing. Well, Mona, we're glad you're here. Good to see you. And Denise says, Marie, I can tell by your background you just love fabric. Yeah, I don't know what would be your clue. Oh, goodness. Laura says, Terry, I will go there directly after the live. Thank you so much. Well, that's great, Laura. I'm sure that you'll be happy with your purchase. Okay. Now see, that didn't show up for me, that comment I just read, but now it is. I have it on set to live chat too. Because I had seen the one where Gisela said about the curtains, because then I replied to that. But anyway, let me see. I see the bah humbug. People telling everyone happy birthday to Giovanna and to Deb. And Lisa says, Giovanna, I remember you posting a fabric tour in the market. Oh, I'll have to go look for that video. My goodness. Okay. Giovanna says, Marie, I think we're all guilty of that. Yeah, I mentioned 1 or 2 things we could all be guilty of, huh? Doris says, I'm glad I'm not the only one who takes a week to put stuff away again. Oh, I'm not saying a week, Doris. I'm talking, that's been there a while. We'll go with a week. Yeah, sure. It was a week. Mine was out for a week. I'm lying. Gisela says, isn't 4 a.m. too early? This time works great for me, 6:30 p.m. Well, 4 a.m. might sound early, but there are a lot of mornings where I don't sleep past 2 a.m. So, if I had everything prepped the night before, I could do it. But if you think about it, those in Australia never make a live stream because of, it'd be 2 a.m. their time. So I'm just trying to throw something out there. I appreciate your feedback, though, that it works well for you. That is good to know. Let's see. Glenda says, I would love a live stream at any time. As long as I know, I will be there. See, this is dedication. She set her alarm for 3 a.m. I just know it. Giovanna says, Laura, if I were you, I would go now. Later might be too late. Ooh, yikes. And Gisela, every week I collect things to give to the secondhand store, and I'm so blessed they want it. Heather says, and I have small space and too much stuff, and if it's not out, I don't see where it is to use it, then I get distracted of all the ideas again. It is what it is. I understand everything that you just said, Heather. I truly do. This room is not very big, so I have to really know where stuff is, because out of sight, out of mind. I know exactly what you mean. Terry says she straightens up after every project because she can't handle confusion. So see, she's gonna get in her car today, she can come up here and she's gonna unconfuse me, aren't you, Terry? Giovanna says, I'm good with my time, Marie. Well, thank you for letting me know. Gisela says, Marie, I still can't do only small projects. That's okay, and that's fine. And Jill says, my fabric's running me out of my room. Well, don't let it chase you very fast, Jill. Okay, so anyone here in the U.S. knows that prices have gone up on a lot of things, but I got to tell you guys this story. I needed stamps, okay? I had just mailed out some postcards the other day, and I was extremely low. So I went onto the U.S. Postal Service website, because I don't have a car. I can't just pop over to the post office or something, and I think it's $2 to have them mail them to you. But anyway, and of course you get a better variety than sometimes. Anyway, went to USPS.com and looked up. The first ones I looked at were forever stamps. So for anyone outside of the States, a forever stamp is one that if the price of a stamp is 55 cents, like it used to be, and it's a forever stamp, that means that you could have bought 2,000 of those at that price, and you could still use them today even though the price of the stamp went up. It is good forever. Well, stamps recently went up again, and they're 78 cents a piece. You could have knocked me over with a feather. I couldn't believe it. So I had to have a book of stamps. I had to get a book of additional ounce stamps, which the only ones I had a school bus on them, like I've already had, but that's nothing to me. I don't care about that part. I thought, well, I better get a package or a little sheet of international stamps, because, you know, if I send something, like when, I don't know if it was Denise or whatever, or whoever it was recently, maybe it was Giovanna that won the postcard. Anyway, it's cheaper for me to use an international stamp than to try to make the postage from my regular stamps. Normally it was. Anyway, $1.70 a piece. It was $17 for 10 international stamps. And I don't begrudge sending anyone. I don't mean it that way. I was just amazed at the price of the stamps. I couldn't believe it. But either way, I ordered the stamps, and they should be in. I think I have like 3 stamps between me and when those come in. Sorry, my stomach's bothering me. Let's see if this helps. Let's see. Terry says, sure, I'll be there in 8 hours or more with traffic. Yeah, you got to go with that. You got to worry about the traffic and the road construction, Terry. Just check with Google. I'll even make you a meal when you get here, or for when you get here. Barb says, so did Kimberly say you'd have enough fabric in 2 strip packs to make the curtains? It actually wasn't the strip packs, Barb, it was the mystery grab bags, which are different because the strip packs have the different strips like this, and the mystery grab bags have all different shapes, sizes, and colors of fabrics. But you know what? No, she didn't. I think it was just, I was throwing it out there to her to see if she thought there might be enough in there, piecing them. But we kind of got chatting about something else, so that got left in the dust. But I believe that she's sending me 2. And of course, if I needed more, I have a couple of scraps here and there I could grab. But I'm going to give it a try because I'm going to make those curtains. I want them so bad. And Giovanna says, if anyone tries to help me, I don't find anything. Mona has a good idea. Under bed storage is great for fabric storage. It is, and I have 2 of those under the bed storage. They're only about that high, but they're on wheels. Have you seen those? And they just slide under the bed. They go from one side of our bed to the other, just about, but that's a great idea, Mona. Let's see. Glenda says, Terry, I'm a bit more of a label fabric project bag lady. That's my organization. Okay. Mona says, I no longer ship overseas. Yeah, I'll send something, an envelope or postcard, something like that, but I can't do packages. It's too much. It's just too much. Giovanna says, for me to ship to the U.S. costs over, she's got 2,50 euros. I don't know how much that is, but I'll figure that out later. Thank you, Giovanna. Hi, Valerie. Valerie's here. She says, hi, Marie and everyone. Listening to you while at the park with my 3-year-old grandson. Well, that's a fun day. Hope you guys have fun. Charmaine, hello to you. She says $3.65 for an international stamp in Canada. I don't doubt it. In fact, I remember when I lived in Florida for a very short time in 1981, I was sending letters to a woman I knew, a friend I had, who lived in New Brunswick, Canada. And I don't remember what the postage was at the time, but let's say that my postage was 35 cents, okay? Hers was like 65 or 70 at the time. Whatever it was, I remember thinking that Canadian postage was very expensive, so I have no doubt. And Lisa is giving everyone a reminder for the thumbs up, and I really appreciate the thumbs up. I appreciate a subscription. Do you know that as of this week, 68% of everyone who watches me is not a subscriber? All you need to do is click that subscribe button. I hardly ever ask. I'll just put that out there. You will get notifications when I put up tutorials, live streams, and things like that. Denise says, I never won the postcard, but I do have a Marie card in front of me all the time. I don't post anything outside the UK. It's too expensive. Yeah, I couldn't remember if you got a postcard or not. I couldn't remember. But thank you for the clarification. And Jill says, I'm still kicking, just not as high. I hear you there. Let's see. Giovanna, Denise, they are beautiful, and the fabric that she uses is so soft. Yeah, Giovanna won, I think, 2 postcards for 2 different things right in a row. Almost right in a row or something. I can't remember how it went, but yep. I remember Giovanna's postcard. Lisa says, it's almost as though the Postal Service is raising themselves out of a job. Wonder if the electric trucks will save them some money. Gisela, we have stamps that red letter, and if bought them cheap, they're valued 4 times the postage today. And yes, I bought a lot. Wow. Giovanna says around $3 more or less. Terry says, yep, 93% of my watchers are not subscribed either. I know, it's astronomical, the numbers, right? Gisela, I bought at 6 KR and now they're worth 22. Wow. Lynn says, I use plastic tubs, mark them Christmas, fall, Halloween, etc. Then I can stack. Yeah, that works. Good idea. Janice says, I remember when you could get stamps for 3 cents. Does that date me? No judgment here, Janice. Not at all. Richard, hello to you. Already showed all my Happy Mail I got. You'll have to go back. He said, just got home. Oh, there we go. Guess I should read ahead before I speak. He says, I'll watch the replay. Denise says, yes, you sent me one a year or so ago. It had a create label on it. Yeah, I fussy cut fabric is what she means, and I stick them onto the outside of the some of my postcards. Well, I'm glad you love it. Giovanna says, oh yeah, I remember that. She won one here on my channel, and then she won one over on Danelle's channel. That's how she did it. She's tricky that way. Lisa says, by the way, if you haven't already had a mammogram, please get one scheduled. I cannot say how much I agree with that. Every year, please do not miss it. Please do not. I have quite a few friends who are breast cancer survivors, thankfully. I have had family members who had breast cancer, back late 60s, early 70s, when it wasn't as treatable and it was almost missed. Please, Lisa is correct. If you haven't already scheduled a mammogram, please do so. Make it a gift to yourself. A gift to yourself. Thank you for the reminder, Lisa. Richard says, I remember when you had to pay 3 cents to put your 2 cents on a penny postcard. Mona says, I have 2 Marie postcards and 1 from Zaza. I love them. Have you made them yet, Mona? I know when you and I did that, just our little video together, you said, oh, I need to make them. But I didn't know if you... Probably one of those things, you get busy with something else. But Lisa says, I am a 2-time breast cancer survivor. Woo-hoo! See, I knew she was awesome. We're so glad. We're so happy for that, Lisa. We truly are. And Giovanna says, even you, Richard. Yes, men get breast cancer as well. Yes, they do. Okay, so I am at the end of my list. I have nothing left in this whole entire world to talk about. Now, that's not true. But if you missed the Sew and Chat last Saturday, you might want to go and listen to it. I lost my phone at Martin's. Oh, Martin's. Where's my fabric? I bought fabric at Martin's. I did. Let me see if I have it right here. I thought I did. Leave it right here. Yes, I did. Some of it is fabric that you've seen before. Goodness. Anyone else always covered in thread? Okay. So this is our local to us is in Boston, Massachusetts, but Boston Red Sox is the local baseball team. And if I were to go online and buy this, it would cost more than $7.99. So when Martin's has it, I grabbed some because I wasn't sure if I had some of that already or if it was New England Patriots. And then they had more of this nursing fabric. It just says words like nurses care, support, strong, encourage. Nurses are the real heroes. I have a lot of loved ones who are nurses, so I have to have that on hand. And then my Aunt Gail wants me to make her I'm just going to call it a wallet for all intents and purposes. It's just a small thing that she can grab to take with her that will hold like debit card, a little bit of cash. It's not really a full wallet. And she loves cats. So my mom and I went to Martin's last Monday to look for cat fabric. And even though I am not a fan of yellow, I adore this fabric. Look at the little berets on the kitty cats. If that isn't the sweetest thing. And one of them has, I guess you'd call it a mask on, like it's made to look like a raccoon. But their little faces are so sweet. So there's no way I needed a yard of that, but that's what I bought. It was $4.99 for this yard. I can't remember what the nursing one was, but I believe that was $5.99 a yard, and this was $7.99 a yard. So that's what I bought at Martin's. Okay, I will catch up before I say my goodbyes. And Rose said I go every October. That's awesome. Oh, Mona, you did make a few. That's good. That's good. Terry said, Giovanna, I had a male friend who got breast cancer. Yep. And Giovanna said, you are stronger, Lisa. Yes, she was stronger than that, wasn't she? Nina says, I no longer sew on the whole postcard, LOL. I remember when you said that. That was adorable. And I have to say, every time I attach one around the edge to the card, I think of you sewing through it. But hey, you know, my husband always says, we all start somewhere, right? Richard says, okay, I remember when it cost a penny more if you sealed your letter. I got in trouble for doing that to one of my landlady's envelopes. She had to put a penny stamp on it. Really? I've never heard that. Huh. Giovanna said, yes, you showed it on Saturday Live. Yeah, I did, but I just wanted to make sure that anyone who didn't see the Saturday Live saw the fabric. And Laura said, I love the nursing fabric. Thank you. Mona said, aw, cute. Hey, Honor. Hey, there's Honor. She says, I'll catch up. Just got back from errands. Love you all. We love you too. Let's see. Heather says, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm hoping to get some sewing in today. I'm working on new original music. Awesome. That sounds like a wonderful day. Speaking of wrapping it up, I really need to do this. But remember, if you haven't won anything from my channel, yes, I did find my phone, Rose. I did, thankfully. If you want to have a chance to win the fabric and you live here in the U.S., don't forget, leave a comment below the video. I hope you leave a comment even if you're not in the running, but make sure you use the word fabric. But any comment, any thumbs up, any subscription that you give me is such a help to me. So, I appreciate that. Alrighty. So, I want to thank you for hanging out with me today. I want to thank you for every bit of your patience and understanding while I took time off. That was needed. I can't tell you how bad I needed to take that time off, so I appreciate everything. I appreciate all the support that you guys showed. You guys are absolutely the best subscribers out there. So, until next time, remember, be kind out there. The world needs more of that. And I will see you next time right here at Marie's Scrappy Creations, right? And after I'm done, I get to go clean some more. But maybe next week it'll look different. You all take care. Have the best day you can, right? The best day you can. So I'm going to leave this running for a minute so I don't clip off the end like I tend to do. So take care, everyone.